Because I promise you, if I didn't do my job, I would be terminated.
Yep. Easy.
So why are you not doing your job, Mr. FBI Director?
They'll hire somebody new. You know, easy.
No, they
somebody to replace you, I should say.
That's the Edomite thing, though. They put people in positions they're not qualified for and ignore their fuck-ups. There's so many of them walking around in my job. I can't count them on 2 hands.
I'll be the same way. Why is you here?
Exactly.
Why is you here? What's the point of even working?
He sent a group email to all of us talking about he's gonna be leaving at 1:30. I started to reply, you can leave now if you want to. You ain't doing shit. Like all you do is bounce his ass around here all day and play. Leave now if you want to, man. I didn't even know you was here for real.
Shoot.
But that's why they in the condition they in now, because they ignore the obvious.
It's crazy.
About what's going on in the world.
Going on in the world, and just at work in general.
Oh.
This man don't come to work, and when he do come to work, he literally be like that, man.
That's how he get down, man. Esau gets pissed off when he actually has to do his job. Why are you mad? Ain't that's why you here to get paid to do a job? You want to ride the clock all day. I see you got your good saddle in your back seat, but you got the comfortable one with the leather stitching and shit.
Yep. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, before we begin, want to give our praises going on to Yahweh, by him, YASHARAHLA, by Hashem, Ricans, the monsters, apostles, monsters, the elders, great millstone, who well tells the truth. Much respect to you brothers out there that preach his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth, tapping up the David for Lekker, Spuck Bird, once Shalom. All right, yeah. I mean, y'all kingdom is through, man. Yeah. As the brother was saying, man, they just ignore things on all levels, man. We was also talking about, a lot of our so-called security is in jeopardy. Your bank accounts, about hacking, what is it? They're defunding.
They're defunding pretty much all the agencies that provide cybersecurity.
Yeah, scoop this up.
Now, is that not security right there? Yeah. Because you're leaving your digital gates open for attack. So they doing this under the guise of national security, but that action in itself is a breach of national security. Yeah. So make it make sense, Esau, because you're all over the place, bro.
And they's talking about, oh, China's gonna do this, China's gonna do that. No, that's actually you. They ain't gotta do nothing, right? That order out of chaos, that's what he wants. Right, he using this trade war as a bluff to him actually, implementing this order out of chaos. The MOTB, the things that's gonna come up soon, very, very soon, man.
They tell you that show 0 Day on Netflix, man. Esau doing all this shit that's going down, man. He's just lying to you the whole time, and y'all Babylonians fucking believing it, because y'all dumbasses.
Yeah, that's why we gotta get ready, man. We gotta get ourselves spiritually and mentally and physically ready, man. I was looking at this video yesterday, one of the brothers, and he said he was out in traffic, and he said I was an angel. He said he was his neighbor for about 10 years, but the guy had moved, but he still would see him on the regular. And he seen him in traffic on his bike or whatnot. And as soon as he seen him, he flipped his bike over like he was going to change the tire. And he runs into the traffic to meet the brother that be teaching. And he asked the brother in the window, he's like, are you a Hebrew? And he said, yeah. And he said, dude went from a straight smile to a frown. Wow. And said, gird up. He told him to gird up. So when I went to go look up gird up, I'm finna tell you what it says. It says gird up, or gird up your loins is an meaning to prepare oneself, especially for a difficult or strenuous task or situation. And remember, we get ready to be tested beyond all means, bro. That's why we gotta have the blood of YASHAMIAHLA on us in these times that we're getting ready to get into. Because it get real bad. And a lot of you people finna be pulling out your hair, and a lot of your stomach's about to be touching your back for the lack of food, man. It's finna get real out here real soon. The signs are all around you, you know? That's why it says in 1 Peter 1:13, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to be the end of your, hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach. So we need to have our minds ready, man. You know why y'all out here living day to day, trying to find the mirth to keep your minds occupied from what's in front of you? You're gonna get caught slipping, bro.
They're gonna figure it out because the last lesson in life that Americans gonna learn is when you have a treasonous president serving, y'all need to deal with it. Because if not, he finna get this country. He already got this country in a world of shit.
Yeah.
And y'all, you Americans, y'all were brought up in this culture to believe that Americans could do nothing wrong. Edomites could do nothing wrong. Regardless of how bad it gets, everything gonna be all right. Y'all was brought up to believe that bullshit. That's not the case this time. Like we tell y'all all the time, we still in biblical times. The only difference now, we at the end of the book. So y'all better prepare. And I'm seeing a lot of people on the internet, and it's all agent activity. Got the elder state on them about this dude. He telling Israelites to come back to cheese and rice.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Madness, man.
That ain't gonna work. There's a lot of, like I said, appear to be Edomites. I said this last week, I think. They bring out so much information.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing Esau can do. Like, just come down with the sword, man. At this point, like, you're exposed on all levels. Like, we don't need them to come out with the truth. That's what the Lord put the spirit on the elders and apostles to do, to bring this truth out, man. You know, the fruit on down. But everything is just so out there, just so, you know, just the truth, you know, just being put out there. There's nothing you can do. That's why they want to ban TikTok. They about to come down on street preachers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They gonna do that everywhere. And when they come down, then that's when all hell is gonna break loose, because we ain't gonna be prophesying when all hell is breaking loose. That's why we're doing it now, while society's still up and running, so to speak. Yeah, there's stuff happening everywhere, but for the most part, people still go to work. People still do their daily routine, and they still here. You know, people ain't getting shot and stabbed while we preaching, for real. But that's gonna happen on a day-to-day basis. People gonna get raped, you know, men, women. You're gonna have a lot of fleeces out here, man, running after your booty, you know.
They creating demons with that show alone, bro. They creating demons.
They pushing that vibration out
Exactly.
here. And it's gonna cause the ones that do live in that lifestyle behind closed doors to emerge, man.
Yeah, they're gonna catch their wind.
They gonna get a new leash on life, man.
Exactly. They're gonna find new purpose. And they're gonna get out here and just start attacking people.
Yeah.
And when the brother brought out that point that that Edomites telling on each other, that's prophesied to happen.
Their tongue shall fall upon themselves.
Exactly.
Man.
I heard that scripture too.
I don't even want to get that.
It's Psalms 64 in verse 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And you got a lot of these, like I said, I'll say a lot of appear to be Edomites, even Edomites, man. They at odds with each other. I love to see it, man. And every time I see it, I'll be laughing.
Yeah, like I said, it's at my job. I'm pretty sure it's probably at other brothers' jobs as well.
Oh yeah, they losing it.
Yeah, they are.
I voted for Trump, man. I've seen it to where these people, they said they voted for Trump and now their business is in jeopardy, man.
Yep.
That's trending right now.
Yeah.
That's that we told you so,
Yeah.
man. But y'all trusting y'all enemy out here.
But that was going to happen regardless who was going to be in president.
Yep.
That's what we've been telling y'all, man. You know, we don't vote, right? The scriptures forbid that, right? The one we want in office is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right? He's going to send his son Yahushua, King David. Hey, YASHARAHLA, we of those men. We going to be on thrones, man, right?
This place, y'all feeling like, well, there's some people out here that still put their stock in this place like it'll eventually be fixed or go back to normal. And it's not. You know, you got people out here talk, they actually see it for what it really is. And then you got these gullible, simple-minded people out here that just think that this place is gonna heal and get back to where it was, and it's not gonna happen that way, man. This is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So this place has a major target on its back by YASHAMIAHLA, man. And the end game is the ICBM missiles, man. Destruction for this place. You know, so it's no going back. Everything is moving forward for the destruction of this place. And you about to see it in your lifetime, man. Yeah. We in that generation right now where the destruction is going to happen.
Yep. That reminds me, because Yahweh desire get to it. You got this person, this Jake appeared to be Jake speaking against Christianity, and rightfully so, right? But what he does not understand or know, right? Christianity ain't the truth, right? What's in the Bible is the truth. He was speaking against the Bible and all that type of stuff, you know. And I was reading the comments, and you had these appear to be Jakes on the comment board. They've been saying we've been in the last days for the last 2,000 years. I'm like, you're ignorant to understanding of the scriptures, man, and what's going on. A day to the Lord is but 1,000 years. You would know that, right? Everything works on the Lord's time and not on your time. Like years ago, when I first came into the truth, I was arguing with this Edomite woman, appeared to be Edomite woman, and we was talking about the MOTB. Now I was younger, I would say, and you know, when you're younger in the truth, you're arguing with everybody, man. You going at them. But then, you know, as you grow more in the spirit, it's like, man, nah, I ain't putting my energy into that. But she was saying, man, y'all been saying that's going to come out for years. Where's it at, man? Well, we're in that time where it's going to happen, man. You know, like the brother said, we are in that time, whether you believe it or not. You're going to see the men of the Lord out there on the highways and byways. That's why, you know, a lot of brothers been doing videos, man. They constantly going in on the Hebrew Israelites, man. Right? It's pretty sure y'all seen Manasseh Cubans videos over and over. This person, this bug out, this person's speaking against us. This woman speaking against us. And the Lord wants it that way because, hey, they're going to be confounded, man.
There's this one nigga, man. He literally, every time I get on there and I see an Israelite video on TikTok, this one nigga, man, every time he's always trying to debunk the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. Every day. You cut that bed. Hey,
they hurt, bro.
that reminds me of this dude on the comment board. His name is Big Walker. I didn't cut him, man, because he used to. Hey, he used to watch the videos over and over, and you know, he was getting bugged out over words, man. And so I was just like, man, we go to your page. There's no videos. There's no edification. Which is all, it's all on my other phone. I'm not gonna waste my time and do a lesson on him. But he's over here, man. While y'all talking about saying cheese and rice, we laughing at y'all, man. It's just a whole bunch of bug out stuff that he's saying, man.
It's just them scoffers, but they just constantly prove the scriptures right.
Yeah.
Because it spoke on people like that rising up in the last days, you know. And I'm gonna get that. This is 2 Peter 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. And that's how a lot of people talk. You know, when you saying that the lady was talking about we've been prophesying about these things for over 200 years, nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's because it's going to be a thief in the night, man. No man knows the day or the hour. It's going to happen, whether you believe it or not. These prophecies are going to be fulfilled, man. You know, it's just going to prove y'all wrong, and it's going to prove the scriptures right.
They want us to be wrong so bad, but it's not us. It's the book. It's the Bible, man. So y'all saying that we wrong when we reading it right out the Bible, verbatim, word for word. So if you disagree with us, you disagree with the Bible. You disagree with the Bible, you disagree with YASHAMIAHLA. So how you think that's going to turn out for you? How you think you going to end up? Because right now you are an enemy of the throne of Israel. Because you coming against the true Father and the true Son. So what you think he going to do to you? He going to say, bring him hither and slay them before me. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. Like I said, the last lesson you Americans going to learn is when you recognize a treasonous president in your face, destroying your country, maybe y'all should have handled it instead of letting him just do this to y'all. Because it's not us, he's always been against us. It's you Americans who thought that this president was in your favor. Now he destroying you too. So, an act of treason from your president, y'all better go snatch him up out that White House because he's about to destroy everybody. He is, yes sir.
Happened with the last one, it's happening with this one.
Yeah, this one, but Lord he finna up a notch. That's why China see America, Donald Trump, he's still playing checkers. He's still waiting on people to say, he's still waiting on people to king him. The other nations are playing chess. It's like he tried to corner them with these high tariffs on beef. China said, we don't want no more American beef. They going to Australia, which is better beef because it's got less pesticides, less contaminants, and it ain't got no snake bites in the meat like Bill Gates going around the planet doing. So yeah, China, they rise into the occasion. One thing you need to go, you go to war, America, is count the cost. Because I don't care how great you say your military is. Your military has never fought several nations at the time Rome failed. Rome tried to take on many nations at the same time, but they left their front door open for attack.
This is Rome.
What you think gonna happen here?
Same thing. How this nation rose is how it's gonna fall.
Exactly.
Let me get that scripture.
Bloodshed is gonna go out on bloodshed, man.
Exactly. This will never be a righteous country because of how it was founded. And they have stuck to those principles, those founding principles. If not, they waxing worse with these founding principles. They ignore the obvious. They ignore that they have wicked people in rulership. But they call it justice. They call it democracy. If there was a such thing as real justice, none of this crime would be going on, especially none of these white-collar crimes in the White House. So there's nothing just about the United States. If anything, it's the, what is it called? The child of Babylon.
Yep, daughter of Babylon.
This country, daughter of Babylon.
What Biden's son doing crack in the White House?
Yeah.
I think they said they didn't even know where that crack come from.
Man, stop.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is drug test everybody. But see, they don't want to know because they know, but they don't want to prove it. See, when it's an Edomite, they gonna sweep that under the rug. It's like I saw 2 news reports last night of a high college shooting.
Florida State.
Florida State. Yeah.
Days ago.
I knew he was an Edomite. You know why? Because they didn't show his face. Now, if it was an Israelite, they'll plaster his face all over the TV, the internet, because they want to push that lie that we are the problem. No, we're not the problem. All we doing is trying to go to work, go and live day to day and stay out of trouble, stay off the radar. It's the Edomites. Because Donald Trump, in all actuality, he wants to get rid of migrants. He claimed they're gangsters, they're criminals and all this, when in all actuality, migrant so-called crime is less than 1%. So when you gonna do something about the real problem, these school shooters, these real domestic terrorists that are born and raised on this soil, you ain't gonna do it because they are Edomites. And you gonna pretend that you don't have a problem with these school shooters when they have always been the problem. That's why you in the condition you in right now, Americans, because you refuse to deal with your problems. You rather place blame on other nations. No, you have always been the problem. America especially, and those small hats. Who you think really pulling the strings? But you refuse to deal with your problems. That's why you in the condition you in. Your problems are your government and those small hats.
Trump let it be known also that he coming for you Americans as well.
Yeah.
He said he's coming for the homegrown.
Yeah.
The people that were born here.
You know who he's referring to.
Yeah, he's coming for the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
Yep.
And he's gonna try to ship you brothers over there to El Salvador.
But in the
Have a good
meantime, he ain't doing nothing about the true domestic terrorists.
All right.
Edomites with guns. When are you going to address this? You're not. That's why you're in the condition you in. Because y'all ignore Edomite crime. But you want to lie on everybody else like they doing the shit. The thing is, Esau, the world is seeing who the problem is. But let him tell it he's not the problem. Everybody else is.
They try to blame everything else. Like they try to say it's ban guns. No, ban the Edomite, man.
Exactly.
That's what we need to ban. The gun, they ain't gonna just shoot by itself. Somebody got to pull the trigger, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you even watched Sluggy, brother. You even watched that video about that Florida shooter. Like I said, they did not plaster his face everywhere. He was knocking on the doors. Hey, it's the police. Open up. You know, just so he could kill some more people, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's that Edomite spirit. You know, being deceitful like that.
Like
That's
also
bloodshed.
with that Carmelo Anthony situation.
Oh, yeah.
That young Jake, man.
Yeah, they pissed about that.
Yeah, them two Edomite boys, they tried to jump him, man. And then he just defended himself and he ended up killing him. I mean, or killing one of them, I believe.
Yeah, one of them.
And then, you know, all these Edomites mad, you know, because he did that. And they try to, you know, spin the blame on him. Nah, it was them. They was the bullies. They was the one trying to, you know, throw him off his square.
Yeah, because if
know?
I'm not mistaken, the coach pretty much exposed what happened. He said first time they got into a fight, you know, because they was attacked, you know, doing the Edomite shit, bothering them. You know, Carmelo, you know, he said he took the L, he got his ass beat. And so, you know, the next time at the other track meet, you know, it was raining or something like that. The coach told him to go somewhere else, right? You know, to get cover from the rain. And the twins came over there and started attack, you know, Edomites, antagonizing the Water Brothers. You know, bothering them again. And then, you know, hey, he was like, man, you know, he got to defend himself, man.
They try to say he was in the wrong place
Yeah.
and he had a knife, man. You know how many damn Edomites walking around with knives every day in places they're
Knives,
supposed to have?
guns,
And
everywhere.
pills.
Pills, crack cocaine,
Sandy.
everything.
Every day. So don't try to blame the, you know, oh, he's a thug, he's a gangster. No, he was in the right place where he was supposed to be at. He was in the right place. He might not have been in the exact tent, but you can't tell him he can't be under the tent. You don't own that tent.
Yeah. That's how they move it. I don't think, because I think he was running the track
Yep.
and they were football players. So they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, man. You know? Come on
that's
now.
Esau's nature, though. He has to make an enemy. He has to have an enemy so he can proclaim himself. He want to paint himself in a positive, good light. So, in order for Esau to be good in this case, the young Jake had to be the wicked one.
That
Yeah.
make him the antagonist.
Exactly.
While he would be the protagonist.
Exactly. It's the same play, man.
And you
If
see
you're
how they
innocent-
plaster his face everywhere.
Exactly. They
Yep.
got to make you guilty of something. You got no, bro. You got to be guilty of something because you're not going to place the blame on us because we really started. I'm talking from the perspective of Edomites. You're not going to make us guilty, despite the fact that we started it. So we got to make you guilty in some way. So by default, we'll be seen as the good guys.
Yeah.
That's the same play Edomites use every time. It's playing out now because the world is starting to wake up to see who the real problem is.
Man, I remember when I was in 6th grade, man, this Edomite tried to stab me, and I ended up beating his ass, and I got suspended.
Hey, that was supposed to do.
I ain't get in trouble at home. As long as my mom always told me, that if somebody put their hands on you, you put their hands on the back. It don't matter who it is.
See, that's what they mad at about this case because that little boy died, that little Edomite died. Well, guess what? Problem solved. He ain't gonna mess with nobody else.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the pictures. Y'all seen the pictures of him? The comments of him. You know, hey, he got that Edomite fragility on him, man. Hard, man. Talking about niggers and, you know, he's saying all types of that stuff.
Yeah, they'll never shake that. It's in their spirit to hate us. So you can have some good actors and you can have some bad actors. All of them acting because this is the culture they were raised in. Hide that racism. until you get around other races.
Sure, we had an old appear-to-be Edomite come up here, man. I'm with you.
Yeah,
we'll see.
If you really knew.
If you really knew.
He looked worried to me.
Yeah.
When we was talking.
Yeah, when you start hitting some points here and there, start reading the spirit, like, you know, looking a little worried, man. But hey, you don't know what's coming.
They know. You know why he came up here and listened? He ain't asked nothing. He ain't say nothing. He was just listening. He was listening to see if we was telling the truth. Because he always knew the truth. This man looked like he in his 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Edomite. Y'all didn't see him on camera, but he came up here and he stood up there and he listened to us about 10 minutes. Then he walked back off. They just rolled off. But he didn't ask no questions. He didn't say nothing. He was listening to see, like, I'm going to see if they really know who they are. That's what he was listening for. But the 12 tribe sign right here, hell yeah, we know who we are. Yeah. And we know who you are too, Edom. So don't expect us to slack up just because y'all walk up trying to act nice and shit. We still gonna give y'all the hardcore truth. Y'all going into captivity.
Yep.
We don't care how much y'all come up here and smile and act like y'all down with it. Because if y'all was really down with it, the ones that was in the know before we woke up, y'all would have been making videos like the apostles and the elders. But you didn't. Why? Because this system set up in Babylon, you benefiting from it. You winning. So why would you mess that up for yourself?
That's why they can never be sorry with words, bro. Because they benefit from the backs of the slaves anyway, man. All the way up to this day. Y'all benefit, so y'all run around trying to apologize and all that. We don't want that, bro. We want your ass because you can never be sorry for what your ancestors did because you still reaping the benefits.
An empty ass apology does not put things back in balance.
No.
It does. An empty ass apology does not give the Gadites back their land. Does not give back those lynched Israelites their lives back. The Lord requires blood. And that's what's gonna happen, goddamn. Whether y'all want to accept it or not, he's coming for his blood. Because y'all owe him for the blood y'all took from his people. And y'all gonna pay in full, whether you want to or not.
That's your future.
I don't care if you ain't got enough blood in your body. You better take your ass to the blood bank and get some more.
I mean, shoot, y'all the original vampires. I mean,
Exactly.
vampires based off y'all. You know, shoot, y'all hate the sun. You love darkness. You love killing, right? You can't stop killing. Can't stop stealing.
Raw meat.
Yeah, raw meat. Y'all the real vampires out here, man.
Sex with animals.
Yeah.
Sex with husbands, wives, children, and everything else with a pulse.
Hey, if it's moving, I want it. That's how it is, man. I'm going to get Ezekiel 35 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesied against it. That's what we doing, man. You know, the appear-to-be Edomite came up here. You know, I didn't even realize that was him in the car until you said, I was like, oh, he was over there putting another thumbs up or something. But, shit, this is what we doing, man. We don't back down. You know, we continue prophesying. We tell you how it is, man. You know, and he said unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. That's coming. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shah. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of the calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. That's why blood, you know, matter of fact, I believe it says is in here, you know, blood is going to pursue you.
Ezekiel
right?
35 and 5.
Ezekiel, did
My
I read
favorite
that?
scripture.
Yeah, has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of the calamity. Verse 6, like it. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. That's what we tell y'all, man. Right? You have to pay for what you have done unto our forefathers in our past lives and now, right? You're still putting that hard bondage upon our people. Trump said the homegrowns is next, right? The homegrown is next. Esau Edom is showing his horns, man. So if you Jakes don't get it right, man, you know, to this truth, that's your ass, man. You about to be put in the concentration camp, or they about to have their way with you, man.
With the elect, that's when the miracles are going to be shown.
Yeah.
All hell gotta break loose. Chaos gotta happen. Tribulation, you know, us being tested, that has to happen for us to get up out of here. And we have to be put in a situation where we need to be saved in order for the Lord to activate those miracles. It's gotta happen. You know, that's why we wait for it to happen. We want it to happen, because when it happens, then we're gonna get up out of here.
That's the only way to get up out. That's the only way to get away from going to work every day, paying taxes that don't stop. That's the only way to get out of this everyday pattern of living you trapped in. Y'all, that's why y'all saying, well, ain't y'all gonna get destroyed too? Maybe. But guess what? Going to be with the Father is better than being here.
Yeah, it says precious is the blood of his saints. So even if you die in this truth, man, that's a righteous thing. You're gonna come back. That's what you Christians or people out there in the world don't realize. You still going to be the first fruits of the kingdom, man. You still going to put your foot in Esau's ass, man.
Christians want to save him. They go above and beyond for this cat. I don't understand, man. And you know, I don't understand y'all. But you know what? I do. And we all do. Because we all have the spirit of YASHAMIAHLA, which is the spirit of prophecy. So, in that sense, we understand how the Lord feels. In that saying that, we understand why the Lord is going to destroy y'all ass. Because if we pissed off at the 2/3, imagine what the Lord feel about y'all. Because y'all will not do right. Y'all will not leave this man's side, just like Samuel Jackson and Django. Y'all will not leave him. They won't. I mean, you can provide these 2/3 with all kind of evidence, scriptures, proof, facts, and history. They still the Lord still loves everybody. Well, guess what, Christians? Y'all still ain't showed us that verse. We have yet to see it, and y'all ain't seen it. But you swear up and down, it's the truth.
Y'all love everybody, huh? You got people walking around looking mutilated like they just got ate by a damn beast.
You know
they come out looking like that, but the Lord love everybody, man. Get out on somewhere, man.
The Lord love his judgment. That's what the scriptures say, right? He don't love everybody. All these other nations is compared as spittle unto him, man. Yep. That's what you know. We read these scriptures, and y'all just willfully disregard it, man.
That's your interpretation.
Yeah, that's your interpretation, man.
That's because they rebellious as hell, man. I'm gonna get Isaiah 30:9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy unto us, not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, man. That's what you people like. Y'all like to hear these lies, man. And it's been going through your minds ever since you've been on this earth and in your past life and in this life. You know, your conscience been seared with a hot iron, and all you want to believe is these lies. And that's how your ass gonna get caught later, man.
Shoot, look at Marvin Sapp congregation, man. Y'all willfully, y'all didn't even fight, man.
No, they did.
They knew it was wrong. The man behind them knew it was wrong. They were stunned when he said lock the door.
You remember that dude from Don't Be a Menace? I posted the video. All I do is I want you to give generously. Look at too big, bro. Like, look at Marvin Sapp. Generously.
Get the collation plate on the other side, nigga. Get the collation plate on the other side.
That's what you 2/3. That's what y'all are drawn to. Y'all are drawn to theatrics and gimmicks and performances. Y'all ain't drawn to the true word. No, y'all hate that because y'all too busy fighting up against the pricks with us when all we doing is reading verbatim. Y'all don't like that. So how are you godly? How are you above everybody? How are you so much better than everybody else? Because that's how y'all carry yourself. You Christians are very prideful, but you don't know shit. So where's this pride coming from?
I got 2 Samuel 3 and verse 1. Now there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. But David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. This is what we seeing right before our very eyes, man.
Yep.
Right? The house of Saul consists of you Christians out there, right? You false prophets, shoot, guerrilla Hebrew and them.
They've been wearing him out.
Ass.
They've been wearing him out. They got AI videos, him standing up, kissing other men now.
Kissing a deacon.
Like,
It was an AI image.
It was AI though.
But hey, that shows you what power that AI has. Because brothers like us, they can take our images and make lies about us.
Yeah.
Bro,
You know, they're gonna use that for a lot of brothers.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
they've been having that AI technology. Think about it. You remember that show they had at 3D Tupac? When he
Yeah,
I
rapping
remember
on
that.
stage
Yeah.
in front of people.
They did
And
that with Michael Jackson too.
Michael Jackson, and they did another, they did Eazy-E recently. He was on stage rapping in front of a crowd. So, yeah, they've been had this technology to lie on us.
Mhm.
They ain't nothing new. Esau just perfecting his wickedness. All he doing is weaponizing technology like he's always done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you gonna see video. He make videos, he make AI images of dead people that's gone into the spirit world. Got them talking and walking around like they here still today. So, yeah, we can expect this sorcery, these enchantments. You still going to change, though. So what? That's why we don't care.
Yeah.
Long as you get what you deserve, we don't care about us.
Yeah.
We want to see you fall, the fall of our enemies, baby.
That's called being a false accuser, man. Right?
Yeah.
You got judgment to pay for being a false accuser. That's a wicked ass spirit to have on you. Matter of fact, you have a lot of our women in that type of spirit, man. That's another reason why you're going to pay, right? Because our women follow after you. They over there, oh, that's your baby. You got to go through hell. You know, you got to go get a parental test. You got to go do this and do that. And Babylon's so wicked, they'll still put you on the papers, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's another reason why you got to get the heck up out of here.
And our people, they follow that vibration with that necromancy shit with
Sleeping with dead people.
yeah, with Esau, they follow that shit, you know, on the raise their loved ones from the dead and talk to them on videos. You need to stay away from people like that because that's how you follow them lies, man. This is Deuteronomy 18:10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that use divination or any observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. You know, so you don't need to be following that vibration, thinking Esau raising these people up from the dead for you to talk to your dead loved ones, man. You're not talking to them, they with the Father, man.
You talk to yourself when you at that damn tombstone and you putting flowers down and you having a conversation.
I know.
Nobody there.
Exactly.
I always thought that was weird. Even when I was in the Word, I was like, I never understood that. Why people do that?
Back then, they mourned their loved one and then they went to go do what they had to do. They didn't just sit there and mourn for a lifetime. That's why a lot of y'all stay in the sorrowful spirit.
Yep.
Because y'all too busy thinking this person is in the heavens looking down on you, watching you. You know, you think they still alive somewhere. Y'all keep that sorrowful spirit on y'all. Let that person go. If you knew the scriptures, you know that person is at peace with the Father. But y'all do err not knowing the scriptures, man.
Yep. And y'all, what y'all actually doing in actuality, you're committing idolatry. Because in essence, you are worshiping this dead loved one.
Yep.
If you praying to him, yeah, you treating that grave site like an altar,
Yeah.
placing things on the altar.
Yeah.
You worship. This is idolatry. You worshiping a dead loved one. So yeah, that's the Lord don't like that neither, because you putting something else above Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA.
Yep.
And all you doing is trying to follow Esau's witchcraft. This is Esau trying to play God.
Yeah.
That's all he doing, communicating with the dead. And you ain't communicating with nobody. Just because they recorded some messages on a computer and then they died, you're not talking to that person. You listening to a recorded message.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Cry your tears, You know, be sad. You know, in the ancient world, that's what you would do. Sometimes you would shave your head bald. You know, that would show that you cover yourself with ashes. You know, that would show that you're mourning. And then keep it pushing, man, because you understand that they're at peace, man. You know, but these people don't understand that. Even some of these Christians out there, you know, I remember being in Christianity. You know, when my grandfather passed away, I love that man. And you over there worried, did he go to hell? Did he go to heaven? No, he's up there with the Father. He's at peace, man.
Yeah, and then if you really understood reincarnation, you know you're going to see him
Gonna
again.
see him again.
Every third, fourth generation.
Yep.
The elder said a generation lasts a rough 20 years because every 20 years, a child is born, a child comes into adult maturity where he's able to produce the next generation.
Yep.
So that's a generation, a rough 20 years.
The scriptures tell you how long you're supposed to born to. In Sirach 22:12, it says 7 days do men born for him that is dead, but for a fool and an ungodly man all the days of his life.
All the days of his life. You see that?
Bam.
Wait.
See that? Man.
I got
Let that sink in.
12 and 7 for you people to understand that the spirit goes back to the Father, man. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto power who gave it. That's where your spirit goes back up to the Father, man. You know, you mourning and mourning, wondering, like the brother said, if they in heaven or hell. We in our hell right now. You know what I'm saying? You see all this shit going on around here. It said that the place had wickedness and righteousness there, man. You know, I'm just paraphrasing that, but that's right here.
Yep, in Northern Kingdom, they go above and beyond. They got a whole pagan holiday dedicated to it called the Day of the Dead.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
Where they go and really worship grave sites.
Yep.
They turn the graveyard into like a club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had that. They was getting ready to have that in Chicago.
yeah, I said that in
But
the group chat.
they shut that they shut that down. I did a lesson on it. You know, they shut it down.
That's the Lord right there. Shut everything down, man. They
Your
canceled
feast
Sunday
is
down
turned
here.
into mourning.
Yep.
And a lot of you people's feasts are going to be turned into mourning and lamentations, man.
Shoot, Thunder over Liverpool.
Yeah.
Cancel.
Right? That was canceled. I don't know if they're putting it back in for a later date, but as I know now, hey, Lord canceled that too.
We ready for the real thunder, man, and missiles, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's gonna be one hell of a show.
Hey, Shalom brothers on the comment board. YASHAMIAHLA. This is Lively Stones of GMS. Great brothers, subscribe to this channel. 2 Samuel 3 and verse 9. So do power to Abana and more also expect as the Lord have sworn to David, even so I do to him. Verse 10, to translate the kingdom from the house of Saul and set up the throne of David over Israel and over Judah from Dan even to Beersheba, right? And so that's what's going to transpire, man. That's what we seeing what's happening right before your eyes. The Lord is lifting up the house of David, right? The house of Saul is being exposed on every front, man. They saying that we doing wickedness. No, you doing the whole bunch of wickedness behind the scenes. It's being exposed. It's being exposed that you initiate. That is, IURC got chased by them Hamites. Some of them could have been Jake, right?
100 miles running.
Yeah. We're seeing the house of Saul fall right before every eyes, and Yahweh, we of those men, right? The Lord's gonna lift us up, man. We gonna be those kings, man. We gonna be on thrones. We gonna be executing judgment, man. Right? Hey, Wadi Yahweh Shah for this true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. And Yahweh, we stay in this truth and continue and endure to the end, man. Because hey, we ready to see the end of this man's kingdom.
I got a scripture in Job 3 where it talks about basically people being in the spiritual realm, because that's where all nations go. It's Job 3, verse 17. It says, there the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest, and there the prisoners rest together, and they hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. See, you free from all the burden, all the turmoil, all the hell that you catch. No matter who you are, you go to the spiritual realm up there with Heavenly Father. No matter what race you are, but when you come down to earth, hey, whether you an Israelite or whether you other nation, the Lord's gonna judge you, especially if you're a heathen. You know, especially when you get to the kingdom, and you Edomites come back, you other Elamites, Moabites, Hamites, y'all come back, y'all go on the chains. Jake, when they come back to 2/3, they gonna have spiritual powers. They gonna be good. They're not gonna be the elect, but they're gonna be good.
Yeah, from the least to the greatest, gonna have thrones, crowns, you know, but they just ain't gonna be on that level. Their name is not gonna be famous in the kingdom of heaven. Let's say it like that, right?
They ain't gonna get the same glory as the 144,000. But you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right then.
You're gonna be good.
Because tomorrow, I know what y'all got going on. Y'all finna die them potatoes.
Hey. Because eggs cost too damn much.
No, man. What? I mean, Christianity has dropped to an all-time low. We can all agree on that. Because y'all got so many doctrines. Y'all got more doctrines than Hamites got gods.
Damn.
Hamites got over 2,000 gods. So y'all got over 2,000 doctrines. You ask 3 Christians the same question, you gonna get 5 different answers.
Yep.
And all of them gonna be wrong.
Yep.
2 walk together except they be agreed.
The Lord said he's not the author of confusion. Christianity comes with confusion. You got all these other denominations, man. And then Christians will argue, well, you got all these other groups. Well, the difference is you have one group that's preaching the truth, man. And those that's preaching the same likewise doctrine, man. Right? All these other groups, all these other denominations of Christianity is for the sheep that the Lord doesn't want. So you got Christians out there that know that they're Israelites, but they still worshiping Caesar Borgia out here, man. They still calling upon Caesar Borgia. Are they gonna make it? You know, if you ask me, I don't think so.
No.
Israelites, that's in that mindset. You have accepted defeat, and you have accepted this man as your God until you die.
Just Judges. I got it. Judges chapter 10, verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Verse 15. And the children of Israel said unto the Lord, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seem good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. That's how y'all gonna be in that day when y'all see that the white boy ain't coming.
Oh, he's coming, right? But he's coming with some missiles. Like he's coming with a knife. He's coming with a sword. He's coming to put you into these concentration camps.
Yeah, they're gonna be calling on the white boy for salvation, though. And then when they see that, damn, he really don't exist. What's the name of the true and living power, sir? No, I don't know what to tell you.
Their stomach gonna ball up on the inside. They're gonna come to that realization.
Yeah, that's when verse 15 gonna kick in.
Because y'all think that y'all little so-called guys that y'all got created in y'all mind, that's not gonna happen because they fake anyway, man. This is Psalms 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens, man. All these other guys that y'all call on are not nothing, man.
When they got these idols that they worship, like the little Buddha statues and all this other stuff, little trinkets around their neck, it's really self-worship.
It is.
Because that God that you pray to, when has that God ever came forth to discipline you?
So you had this flood where these Elamites, they were picking up their God. So who's saving who?
Exactly.
You know?
It's all self-worship because let you tell it, the God that you worship, this idol that you worship, is nothing but good things. Everything positive about this made-up image. Nothing negative about it. So if he was real, there would be balance. There is no balance with your idols because your idols have never came forth to bring forth judgment or punishment. That's balance. You can't be good, 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 love, love, love all the time. That's not balance. The true and living power brings forth balance. That's how you know he exists. I never seen a Buddha statue bring forth in no type of balance.
I ain't never seen a statue that gets broken up and then it just magically appeared back together.
Exactly.
Hey, that reminds me of what's that? Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? They asked him, "Do you believe in God? You know, or does science prove that God exists?" Well, you know, just roughly paraphrasing what he says. So, science either proves that this God is not all powerful, or that he's not all loving. Well, if you knew the scriptures, right? If the Lord is dealing with you, right? Science actually proves, true science, not that pseudoscience, actually proves that the Lord exists and that he is not all loving. Once again, as I quoted earlier, the scriptures say the Lord loveth judgment, man, right? And he loves his saints, right? And so, as the brother said, you know, you got people coming out the womb all fucked up. Yep. That's the Lord's judgment, man. You know, somebody died. Each day, somebody's dying, man. That's the Lord's judgment, right? So, true science proves that the Lord does exist and that he is not all loving. Matter of fact, true science, I was watching this before I came into the truth. The Lord has a signature, right? Just like an artist will have a signature, the Lord has a signature within his creations, man. You look at the Milky Way, the galaxies, you know, even in your inner ear, the Lord has this little signature, man, that he places, you know. And where you get that type of spirit from, I am an artist myself. When you get done drawing your picture, you put down your signature, man, you know.
They say his name is actually tagged on Israelites' DNA. Those actual words, his name is tagged in our DNA.
That's cold. That's cold right there.
So I mean, it ain't no getting away from it, Christians. The only thing you Christians learn from Christianity is how to lie and how to stay in a delusional state of mind, how to ignore reality. That's what you learned in these churches.
And say you love everybody while talking shit about each other in the congregation.
Mm-hmm. Bruh, how you love everybody when you don't know everybody? That's an impossibility.
Sure, one of my co-workers was just saying that the other day, man. I don't like my girl's mom because she claims she's a Christian, but she's always talking bad about me.
Let me show you lying Christians that you are actually lying. When you watching the news and you see somebody die, you see somebody lose their life, car accident, whatever, shooting, do you cry for them as if your mama died? Well, you don't love them.
Exactly.
But you lie every day and say that you do. I told you, the only thing y'all learn in these churches is how to lie, how to be delusional, in a constant delusional state of mind, and how to ignore reality. That's what y'all learn in these churches, and how to shuck and jive and go broke. Yeah. But you think you better than everybody else because you done got your weekly dose of lies in. How does that make you better? Anybody who don't deal with reality, that's not even worth my time. Stay in your delusion. You'll find out the hard way like everybody else.
Yeah, the scriptures speak about no debating, you know, going back and forth. The truth, you don't have to argue for it. Once you see that there is no wisdom within that person, just move on, man. You know, and that's the type of spirit that you should be in. I got Hope, Grace, and Mercy 144 on the comment board, though. 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 21. For after that, in wisdom of power, the world by wisdom knew not power. It pleased power by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. You see, the Lord called us to come out here on the highways and byways to preach this word. Where's your pastor at? Your pastor ain't out here risking his life and freedom to preach this word. No, he's up in the church, living comfortable, lying to you. Y'all play to get lied to, man. And look at Marvin Sapp, man. Y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all ain't trying to break down the doors, try to get out of there.
You keep that on that side.
Yeah.
They risking that booty though.
Yeah.
Delusional, man. I don't see how you people live with yourselves.
How can they call themselves Christians anyway when the Christian is a follower of YASHAMIAHLA? The disciples were called Christians first when they was following is so-called cheese and rice, but his name is Yahawashi. So y'all not following so-called Jesus anyway. We following Yahawashi, which makes us Christians, the real Christians. But y'all following this white boy and trying to call yourself Christians. It don't make any sense, man. It's them lies that y'all been taught. You know,
like you said, it's awesome.
It's okay. The original Christians are the followers of Yahawashi, man. That's what I just wanted to put out there. You know, it's a difference. Because y'all following what Constantine brought out. Y'all following that Christianity that he brought out that goes against the true scriptures, man. That's why y'all following these lies, because y'all going against the truth of the scriptures to follow these lies that started with these Romans, man.
It all go back to self-worship, like how he brought out. I got this in Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 12. It says, "For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by vain glory of men they enter into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end." And Caesarea, his time has come to an end.
Yeah, it's over with. The Jesus train is coming to a halt. But y'all gonna stay y'all asses on there thinking it's gonna crank back up.
Yeah.
And that's the same train that's y'all gonna get destroyed in. Like we said, a lot of y'all gonna die in church because you just that hard-headed. You just that stiff-necked. You rather die with your idol than to discard, throw your crosses away for a chance to live with the true and living power on earth as it is in heaven. But no, y'all, some of y'all just that stiff-necked. And I know a lot of y'all grew up in church. A lot of our elders in the world, y'all stuck in y'all ways. And guess what? You're gonna die stuck in your ways. It's gonna come out of them and repent. But I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna do that because just for the sake of y'all too proud to admit that y'all were wrong, it's gonna cause your death, your pride.
Hey, look at Judge Joe Brown, man.
Yeah.
Right? Now, a lot of things that he say, you know, getting on the industry, you know, exposing stuff here and there, you know, it's right. But when he comes to this truth, he don't know nothing, man. He's an old fool.
Old bottle.
Yep.
You talking about some we looking for an identity. Yeah. We found our identity. You stick to that black shit. See how far I get you.
Exactly.
Man, the Elder Malcolm, man, he bring out every day, man. Black means like void of light, darkness, wicked, all these evil things, man. And you cleaving unto that, hey, that shows what you are, and you gonna die that way.
Yeah, I brought that out in the video I made about Eve this past week. And I read Isaiah 8:20. If there's no light, if they not speak of this word, roughly paraphrasing, it's because there's no light in them.
Yep.
That's why she still call herself black. Ain't no light in her. She believes everything that a black person was taught to believe about themselves. That's why you're black. You have no light, meaning you don't know nothing about yourself. You don't even know the truth about yourself, but you calling us a lie when we trying to tell you about yourself. Stay black and die.
Yep. Hey, that reminds me of of one of my homies in the world, man. I saw him last year, and supposedly both of us came into the truth around the same time. But you know, hey, he's nowhere to be found. He ain't doing the work. He ain't doing nothing. You know, not every brother is called to be a prophet, but he ain't doing nothing. You know, let's put it like that. So I saw him last year, and he's like, you know, he put up the sign, man, like, hey, brother, stay black. I'm like, nigga.
He went back to where he chasing the bag and
yeah.
somebody else's wife.
Yeah. I'm like, nigga.
That's what niggas do. They chase bags and other men's wives.
Nasty work, man. Nasty work. And he know, and I was talking to him. It was like, man, I still know the name of the Lord. You know, he stuttered. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, kind of struggle to say it.
Trying to force it.
Yeah, force it out. And I'm like, bro, just stop it, man. I ain't even come here to talk to you about the truth, man. You know, we so happy to see each other again. You know, hey, what's up, brother? Keep it pushing. That's pretty much how it is.
He tried to put it on your mind that he was still in the truth when
he
really wasn't.
Yeah. I was just like, hey,
Or he didn't want to be treated as a reprobate.
Outside, yeah, reprobate, something like that. It's like, man, we gotta get together. I'm just like, nah, I'm good, brother. I'm good.
All right, I'm good seeing you right here, right now.
Yeah.
No need for another reunion. We're not on the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta distance yourself from certain people, man, after a certain amount of time, man.
Yeah, because if they claim to once be in this truth, or you don't want to hang around them. You know, the order is to excommunicate them, man. You know, until they show that they're trying to, you know, get back in good graces, sincere, you know, be sincere, you know. Other than that, you know, hey, stay out of here, man.
They just gotta, you got to show the brothers.
Yeah.
You have to take initiative for yourself. We can't make you do this work. We can't make you believe. We cannot make you have faith. If the Lord didn't put that spirit upon you to take initiative, hey, you might be in a scary place.
Yeah.
And you might be deceiving yourself, like you still in the truth. But where are your works?
Yeah.
It's like Apostle Gabar said, your videos, the video that you put up, what he said, how did he phrase it? He said, your last video is it's something, it'll come back to me. But it made all the sense in the world. He said, you gotta constantly stay in the work. Because constantly staying doing this, it keeps you away from the wickedness of the world.
Yeah.
It keeps that temptation away from you, from wanting to go back in the world, which I don't have to worry about, because as long as I can remember, I was never with this world. I always felt like I didn't fit in.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that's nothing to me. I don't miss this place because I was never a part of it. But you other Israelites who actually putting all your chips on America.
Yeah.
No, that ain't the move, bro. You finna lose. You finna crap out big time.
Yeah, you got these other Israelite camps, Issachar, you know, they still have that worldly vibe to them. That's why a lot of Israelites, you know, flock to them, man.
Mm-hmm.
But we're supposed to be changed, man. Hey, scriptures speak of not making the ministry blame, man. You know, we're supposed to have a different type of spirit upon us, man. You know, we're supposed to look different. We're supposed to talk different, man. You're supposed to have a different type of confidence within yourself, man. Not the worldly confidence out here, man. Putting your trust in Babylon the Great. Hey, Gorilla Hebrew, didn't he have make America great again hat?
Yeah,
it's just a whole bunch of madness, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at everything else he's doing. They showed a text message of him texting his wife, talking about some how she was cheating on him with the white boy that had a bigger rod than him, but he still loved her. Come to find out that he put his wife up to sleeping with Edomites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. That's nasty work, man.
So
You made your wife commit adultery?
Exactly, that's my point.
He's gone, man. I don't see him.
That dude goofy, man. I really think he's still in that Crip shit too. Because he was always talking, y'all notice he always wear a hat with an H on it, right?
Yeah.
That's for Hoover Crip. That's what that's for. And he was on the podcast, and they asked him if he was going to jail to be locked up in prison, would he rather be locked up with the Israelites or the Crips? He said he'd rather be locked up with the Crips. So what does that tell you? He wants to be amongst those that's still in the world, that's still abominations. Basically, he'd rather hang around 2/3.
Yeah.
So what does that make him? But y'all exalt this man as y'all leader? All this shit this man and came out about this man, y'all still exalt this man as your leader. But guess what? If you see that man as a leader, then you're not a true brother because you have no idea what a true leader is.
I got 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? None, man. You just get away from these people, man. You know, but like the brother said, a lot of y'all flock to these cats, man.
Yeah, because And the apostle, he explained it very nicely. He said the reason these groups like IUIC, they push these women-friendly doctrines is because women are the biggest contributors to their church.
Just like in regular churches.
It's in regular church.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Israelites united in Christianity.
Christianity. Hey, that's why you had this one Jake in IUIC saying a man only needs one woman. Yeah, on this side, I mean,
You can't take care of none.
if I would say it like this. Some brothers is able to have more than one woman, but for the most part, it's good to have just one woman on this side. But that does not disregard that you can have more than one woman, if you get what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, it's like Paul said, what is lawful is not always expedient.
Always expedient. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's lawful, but it's not expedient.
It's not wise in this kingdom because Esau gonna punish your ass.
Yeah.
He already punishing you for having one wife. He'll punish you for having a child.
Yeah.
Yep.
Child support. Alimony. One wife. She got your house. She got your car. And then you making monthly payments to this woman while she in your house with her new man.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but hey, that's what happened to my father. You know,
bro.
Esau rewards these Eves for their wickedness. That's why it's not expedient. Think about it. You got one disgruntled baby mama versus 5 disgruntled wives. It's the same plane, except you in a worse boat. Because now instead of paying one woman, now you got to pay 5 women because of Esau's courts.
Yeah.
That's why it's not expedient. It's not wise because you're gonna give Esau all the ammo he needs to bury your ass.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I want to get the scripture since we quoted it. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Right? So it's lawful. You can have yourself more than one wife, but it's not expedient. Right? Make sure your first love, your first woman is true. So here, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And then the women's going to come because we already seen with these tariffs and what's happening, man. These women about to get themselves back in order, man.
They ain't gonna have no choice.
Yeah.
But they ain't gonna want to stay out here. They gonna want to come in and cover up that big booty they bought. But they don't want to get raped.
Yep.
But like I said, man, y'all still don't understand the message. If we can go online and see your ass, you are basically auditioning to be a hoe in the Lord's movie. And he gonna hold you to it.
Yep. Sounds about right.
What's up,
How's it going, brother?
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
So yeah, y'all keep on walking around with little next to nothing on, flaunting your asses, twerking, all this other shit, and we gonna see what happens to you. Because now the strippers they in an uproar. They going broke. The strippers going broke, the OnlyFans going broke, and women are upset because men are doing their own thing. Well, guess what? What would you do if you was a man? If you had to pick from a rock and a hard place? And you got more videos coming out about men. You know why? Because your hard-headed, devious ass ain't there to make their lives a living hell.
12 tribes of Israel. I guess he was reading the sign.
EDOM might go into slavery.
You're going to have a wake-up call.
All of them here, man, they still got their head stuck in the hole. They don't want to come out because the light is too much to bear. So they rather stay hidden.
Yeah, Esau, Edom, he had the covering cast of the nations, man. He had us in darkness, not knowing who we are, man. That's why you have Jake. Hey, I just gave you the example of my homie in the world. Stay black, brother. You know, you got our people out here proud to be wicked. That's pretty much what black means, as the brother brought out. Proud to be wicked. right? But, you know, these Edomites driving by, walking by, or whatever. This is a wake-up call, man. We not calling ourselves black, Latino, Native American, whatever, man, right? We calling ourselves by our biblical names now, and we calling you by your biblical name. You got to accept it.
One of the reasons Esau mad about that, which you just brought up, because he realizes that he's no longer in control of the narrative.
Yep.
And for some reason, every time he feels like he's losing control of something, he get all his panties in a bunch and start acting like a little hoe.
They show that big time in the comments on like social media when
Yeah.
people bring out them finding out they're Israelites or they're doing videos about it. You got the Edomites coming up in there. You're not a fucking Israelite, and they get their panties in a bunch, man. They get real upset.
Yeah,
man.
because as a whole, the nation of Edom, they feel like, and this is true, in their spirit, if they feel like they're losing control of the narrative, they're losing control of everything. No, people just choose not to believe your lie.
Yeah.
But you take that personal.
Matter of fact,
Would you willingly believe somebody else's lies?
matter of fact, last month, if I'm not mistaken, it was exposed that, you know, which we already knew this, but, you know, you have the FBI and all of them, you know, they putting all these agents in here, you know, because they're afraid, as the brother said, you know, they have no control over the narrative anymore, man. You know, they're seeing that we waking up, we're non-violent. They want to find some ways to combat the truth. You know, I even see it with my 2 YouTube channels, man. My feed doesn't even show up no more, man. It's just black. You know? My man, if I can show it, matter of fact, let me see if I go.
I noticed my notifications ain't going out.
Yeah, notifications ain't going out. They're blocking.
Shadow banning.
Shadow banning. They're blocking the truth from going out. Let me see if I go over here.
I mean, not that the views matter, but I think the last 10, 15 videos, it said no views. I was like, damn.
But of course.
Yeah, it said like no views.
Yeah.
Shadow ban. You being shadow banned, bro.
But
Somebody
the views don't matter, but the Lord sees the work we do.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't stop the truth, man.
Or like, what was it? It was like a couple months ago. The videos weren't uploading, or when you did upload the video, you have like the whole title. You know, sometimes for the most part, I put a thumbnail in there. There's no thumbnail, there's no title. You know, it just says that date. You know, they just finding ways to mess up your channel. But the word is out here, man.
Yeah.
The word, that probably means the elect is sealed or just about sealed.
They took my one channel when I first started preaching with you. They just took it. They ain't even give me 3 strikes.
Yeah.
It says not found or something. Like
Just
my
off the
email's
wrong
still
Edomite
attached
at
to it.
YouTube. But see, that's the thing with this truth and the brothers and the true and sincere brothers of GMS and those that follow likewise doctrine. We put out too many videos for YouTube to keep up with. They don't have enough employees at YouTube. Cause I mean, you get thousands of videos a week.
Yeah,
a week.
Easy.
They don't have enough employees at YouTube to block them all. So some truth is still getting through the cracks. So
they ain't gonna be able to stop this water from flowing, man.
No, man.
Yeah, and that's why they pretty much shadow ban it. You know, sometimes you just gotta, you know, I got like a little note list, you know, some of the brothers that I watch, you know, and just click the channel, man, because sometimes it's not even showing up in the feed like it used to.
Yeah. Another thing, on my main feed, I used to get flooded with brothers' videos.
Yeah.
Now I gotta actually find them. They ain't showing up in my main feed no more. I'm getting a whole bunch of bullshit now.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, Esau, I mean, that's why the Lord calls this truth the living waters. You know why? Because water always finds a path of least resistance, baby. It's gonna get, like the brother said, it's gonna get through them rocks.
Hey, that's how it is. Oh, did you have the scripture up?
I have one Hebrews 4:12.
I got one right after you.
It says, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and the joints and marrow, and is the discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. You got people out here crying on camera.
Yeah.
You got niggas making videos every day trying to debunk the Hebrew Israelites. You got these different YouTubers that don't even, their whole mission on their channel is not even to debunk the Israelites, but all of a sudden you got a video trying to going up to the camp and you talking about some, we lying, we spreading hate, we doing this, we doing that. This whole truth got the world in the uproar, man.
They're all upset. You know? That's true, man. That's a lot of videos going around where they're trying to debunk, man.
Yeah,
it's because they hurt.
That means that it's working. The Lord's plan is working. When he told us to go out to the highways and byways and bid as many as you can to the marriage, roughly paraphrasing, it's working. Yeah. If it didn't work, you wouldn't see people making videos crying about who we ain't.
Look how bad the world is.
I mean, we just had Edomite doing the same thing. Slack you out. Go ahead.
Look how bad the world is, you know, for these Edomites now, man. You know, they suffering now. We've been suffering. You just now starting to feel it. You ain't even really felt the iceberg yet.
Man, them curses ain't kicked in for real yet.
Kicked in.
The Lord's still in first gear.
Christianity didn't do this, man. This truth did this. Us being Israelites, us preaching, you know, starting with the elders and apostles, man, the truth got this world in the upward like that.
Yeah, I seen a couple of Edomites talking about, well, Edomite woman anyway, she was talking about how people been asking her in her single life how she's been able to, you know, try to stay above water or whatnot. She had to cut off her cable. She had to shut down what she bought for food. Some other bills she had to get rid of. She said she don't care about the food because she's already 45 pounds overweight. You know, and then she said a lot of you women out here that's single and can't maintain. She says you got to sell your shit.
Damn.
You got to sell your dirty ass box.
Damn.
To get any kind of money right now.
That's coming. That's coming on the large scale.
It's increasing. Matter of fact, I think a year or two ago, the state of New York legalized prostitution.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they gonna tax it eventually.
God damn, you gotta pay a whole tax.
Yeah.
They opening up a door like that for a motherfucker to do prostitution. You best believe Esau gonna find a way to tax that shit. He's gonna find a way to tax it. Every time something is created, like when our people created the lights, this nigga came out with a light bill. Yep. He's gonna find some type of way to tax it, bro.
Well, how you doing, Cinnamon? Sit down with the tax man. Let's see. You claim 56 tricks last month. So let me see. Going by the formula, yeah, you owe about $2,000 in the whole tax.
You gotta file your TTs. You gotta file your TTs, man. Your twat tax. Twat taxes, man.
Yeah, we taxing that ass, literally.
That's what it's coming to, man.
He want to charge you for air, man. Just, you know, as far as you go, they want to charge you. They showed it on that episode, The Black Mirror.
That's that. What's that? It's the carbon something. They're gonna charge you a carbon tax.
Yep.
For breathing, bruh.
Just breathing.
These people got to go.
For breathing, or you can't drive your car a certain amount of miles. If you go over that, you get taxed about that too.
Yeah, they talking about it's to incentivize not traveling far.
Yeah.
This earth is meant to be traveled. How is everything restricted under this man's rule? Can't nobody go to Antarctica freely. He got the whole shit blocked off because he doing something up there.
Yeah, he probably got some bunkers. I know they got like a huge food saver or something like that, where they put like a whole bunch of food, you know, plants and stuff. They just store them up in there too.
Yeah, while they doing that, they stopping y'all from buying seeds.
Yeah.
And defiling your food. And I think I seen a video where they shooting punches in the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they doing the cows like that.
Making them more plump.
No, they hitting them with that snake juice.
Nasty.
They put that snake juice in.
Oh, okay.
That's why China opted to get their beef from Australia versus here. Everything here is tainted, man.
Yeah.
And plus, his fate.
Plus, you got Japan over there with their Wagyu. If y'all ever had Wagyu, man, that shit's good, man.
That Wagyu,
it's expensive, but hey, that's some good shit, man. That is
worth it, though. I mean, because think about how they raise cows here versus in Japan. It's already better beef off the rip because you ain't getting all them additives and preservatives.
Yep.
And snake bites in your meat.
There's too many videos out here right now with people on these foreign lands talking about why they wouldn't eat American food versus their food they only got in they soda, you might have like 2 or 3 ingredients. Over here, you got about 12, 13, 14, 15 ingredients, man.
Them ain't ingredients, bro. Those
The
are
preservatives and
chemicals
chemicals and shit. You know, that's what y'all over here, the what is it, high fructose corn syrup?
Yep.
That shit. You know, the red 40s, all of that stuff that they got in this food over here for these different additives, man.
Yellow
Y'all
5.
eat all that stuff and get sick, man.
Yeah.
And then you go to the hospital, and then they give you some more shit to fuck you up, to keep you coming back.
Yeah. But I like how China playing chess though, because China has impacted the luxury retailers in America.
Yeah.
They done came out and said all them $10,000 Louis bags y'all getting cut up and put in is fake. The diamonds these rappers rocking, those are lab grown in China. So yeah, he got y'all again. And that man said, the actual Moabite, he made a video. He said that you can come over here. In China, they put this out to all Americans because they know how this whole nation is nothing but a nation of consumers. So they said that they will give you a visa-free flight over there if you want to shop for Chinese goods, and you will not be taxed. They will not add the tariffs on it. They say you come over here and buy a diamond bracelet for $2. You know how much that same bracelet going for in America?
Man.
About $3-4 grand.
Yep, easy.
Because they selling you lab-grown diamonds. Now the gold is real, but the diamonds are fake. And they said the only way you could tell between a fake diamond and a lab-grown diamond, you got to have that little device they got at the jeweler store. Because real diamonds, they conduct a low voltage. That's the only way. You got to put a spark to it. If not, hey, the real diamonds look just like the lab-grown diamonds. So yeah, I like the way China doing this shit. Yeah, they doing it very strategically. I told you, America playing checkers. The other nations playing chess. They know how to hit your ass. Canada knew how to hit your ass. Now China hitting your ass in ways you never expected. The president of Namibia in Africa, she deported 500 Americans. She said if Africans need visas to enter America, then Americans need visas to enter Namibia. They didn't see these plays coming. The Lord's Spirit is on these other nations. That's why. Because it's in the Lord's time for Babylon to fall.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures say they shall hate the whore. You making it worse upon yourself, man.
And it's people.
You know? Hey, I did a lesson on that the other day about the Moabite exposing it, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, that's a beautiful thing. That's another reason why they want to get rid of TikTok. Right? They exposing your famous jewelry brands, Louis bags, the Gucci bags, right? Some of them, you know, he showed like some of them may very well cost $1,000, but when they get over there to Italy or whatever, they put their little logo on it, and they upped it to like 14 to 38 grand, man.
Selling that name.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's how he explained it. He said they put the logos on there that y'all know and trust. They cut out the made in China tag and sew in a made in Paris tag. And you think you got you something.
Man, I got a $100,000 bracelet on. That shit $4. That shit came out of
$4 over there, man.
Fuck AliExpress and Temu. You can get the same shit. They selling the same shit AliExpress and Temu selling.
I got a house on my wrist. That's how they be spitting.
All your diamonds from Tiffany's. They probably lab grown too.
Sales diamonds.
How you getting perfect diamonds? I know you can cut diamonds. I know you can cut them to how you want them to fit certain pendants and whatnot. But come on, man.
Come on, man. Like Boosie. Come on, man.
That's what this world is tired of. Esau loves of being in a world where everything is fake. The world is tired of fake shit. The world is tired of Esau fake ass. Everything this man does is fake. Fake meat. Fake food.
Don't nothing taste right no more.
No.
Like, no matter how you try to fix it.
Yeah, I
Nothing
remember.
tastes right.
I remember being as a young child. The cereal used to be real good, and then
And he sugared it up.
yeah, they put all this fake shit in it. Now you taste it. Now it's like, what the hell? You go look at the box. It got this ingredient, chemicals,
Shit
man.
that you can't even pronounce.
Yeah.
man.
Chemicals. They're not ingredients.
Lab grown shit.
Man,
That's how Esau hide his wickedness behind them big ass names.
you gotta look it up.
Yeah, it's
Some
so,
of it is pork. It's
Yeah,
just
it's-
another way of saying pork.
it's
Gelatin.
so many. It's
Yeah.
so many clinically scientific names for pork that if you ain't on your P's and Q's, he gonna slip it right in there. He laced everything with pork, man.
If y'all say y'all not eating pork out here, more likely it is. on
just
some
don't
type
know.
of lead. They got pork in all the bread products.
Kool-Aid. Why you think Kool-Aid was so abundant in the ghetto? It's got pork in it. I mean, ridiculous, man.
Pause, cough drops.
Damn.
Pork in it.
Damn.
It's ridiculous, man.
Toothpaste, Colgate.
Why you gotta lace everything with pork? Because that was his way of trying to get to us,
Some
trying to
pigs
weaken
got,
us.
They made with pork. Some pigs.
Yup.
Yeah, they're
That's
trying to
where they
weaken
gotta
our
go, man.
state. They're trying to weaken our bodies.
What the hell,
They
nigga?
rolled by smiling. What was that?
What?
I don't even know if that was a man or
No,
woman.
I ain't know
no.
either, man.
That was Mrs. Sankerson.
That's
That's
a Timmy. What is that, Timmy?
Pat. Saturday Night Live. They're trying to get Pat to reveal his identity, so they didn't want to ask him directly. So they asked him a bunch of loaded questions. So what's your bra size, Pat? Oh, and he'll just answer. He'll answer in a way where you can't determine if he's a male or female. They kept asking him loaded questions. If y'all know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube and find them Pat skits. Man, they ain't gonna trip you out. But it was a prelude to today.
Yeah, yeah.
Because half these motherfuckers walking around, I can't tell.
So you even watch some of the cartoons from back in the day, man. They was already pushing that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was way back in the day. That was when Esau was pretty much against it, or he was behind the scenes, you know, doing that shit. You know,
They was pushing that weird shit in them old cartoons like Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
it's
Oh
very
man,
subtle.
man.
They ain't subtle with it no more now.
Nah.
These cartoons, they off the chain, man. So you got if you got little ones at home, start checking out some of these cartoons with your kids that they be watching, because it's a lot of wickedness that's laced in it. It's hidden. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
Like I was watching cartoons with the little one at my house. She just turned 3, and it's a few cartoons she watch on YouTube and Netflix. Well, Netflix, and all you see is rainbows in this cartoon.
Yeah.
Rainbows
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So they're very subliminal with it now.
yeah. I had to do the same with my bunions.
They
Right.
got to.
You have to.
You got to analyze the
Man.
stuff these kids are watching, because they'll slip it in there real quick.
Like I seen this weird shit with Ren and Stimpy. I'm gonna mention that again. It was a scene that I saw recently. Stimpy had like
It was
a
a
saw.
saw.
He had
Yeah,
a
the
saw.
saw.
I seen that.
And the cat was in front of him, and he was, sawing the wood. He was sawing the wood, stroking it, but he was sawing the wood with the saw.
Yep.
And he got to the point to where he looked like he had an orgasm, and then the wood from the saw came off the front and landed on the back of the cat. And this nigga acted like he had an orgasm.
Yeah.
He was
That's
looking
how
all
they-
demonic. His eyes
Yeah.
all red.
Yeah, that's how they slip it in subliminally, man.
It's just a
He saw
cartoon.
slick with it.
Even with Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, Bugs Bunny getting out the shower and genitalia showing before we wrap up with the time.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
was slipping all that little shit in these cartoons, man.
It was
growing up.
nasty work, man.
I'm glad
They
our
still
mentalities, I'm glad our mental wasn't the way these kids are now, because we missed a lot of that shit that could have corrupted us growing
Yeah,
up.
it went over our head, but see, that's why the drag queens are at the elementary schools now, priming these children's minds to look out for these things so they will catch them.
The
It
root
won't fly.
cause.
It won't fly over their head like it flew over our heads, because our minds wasn't in that place.
I was already pretty much grown when I started seeing it like being real big. Like I was already 17, 18, so I mean, it didn't affect me, but it got worse and worse.
Worse and worse, yeah, right after you.
Yeah, because they got more and more bold with it.
Oh,
testing the boundaries.
Yep. Oh, we can put these drag queens over here?
Yeah, that's what Esau does.
Oh, man.
He's constantly testing the waters to see how people react. Depending on how people react, that determines if he's gonna do it again, or if he's gonna step it up, increase it.
Yep.
It's all based on public reaction. If the public is outraged, he'll do away with it. If the public cool with it, he gonna sneak and turn it up more and more and more.
Yeah, that's once again as we was talking about the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah,
just slowly putting it up.
Gradualism.
You have this one show called the Loud House, man, where the Jake father, he's a mole, man, right? It seemed like it's always Jake. There's another cartoon where his father's a mole. There's another one where his father's a mole. And I'm just like, they know who they're targeting.
Yeah.
Why is it always that Jake's father is a mole? That's the only time that the father's in their life if he's a mole. But other times, they don't show the father. It's the mother. They was raised by their mother, man. They know who they're targeting.
Or the father be a steppe Edomite.
Steppe Edomite, yo.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they. I mean, I've seen this in so many series and movies. It's either the mother is single if she's an Eve, or they got an Edomite stepdad, a step Edomite in there.
Yep.
Yep. That's facts.
Or his father's a mole, like I said earlier.
Yep.
You know.
They don't. I mean, they even labeled it. They gave it a bad name, a bad reputation. They call it toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing toxic about being a real man. Esau just sees it as a threat because a real man he can't control through bullshit. So yeah, that's why they got the term toxic masculinity. Because they only want simps, gays, and beta males. That's all, because they can be controlled.
And that's what Eve looked for as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, Apostle Dahar been calling them hyenas. And I did my lesson the other day, why, spiritually look at why you called the nigger woman the hyena, man. Because in the hyena society, the woman is above the man, right? And pretty much they have more testosterone. They're bigger than the males. They produce more male-like testosterone. Even their genitalia is more men-like, so it's kind of hard for them to get pregnant.
Hyenas?
Yeah, hyenas. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got it looks like a male part. I'll say it like that.
And them dog-ass women, man. I seen a video yesterday. The chick went to Planned Parenthood or wherever she went to get the baby killed. She come out, you standing there like this.
I saw that. I saw that little
that
clip.
shit pissed me off so bad.
Yeah.
Boy.
That's all right, because guess what? It's gonna come back on her because she basically put her child through the fireball and
Molech.
Yeah. So she's done. The same way you said fuck that child, the Lord gonna say that about you.
Yep.
Hey, Shalom, brothers on the comment board. Yahweh Shemion Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Let me see what he got.
Nice amount of scriptures on there, boy.
Lights Out Devil.
Run them down.
Lots of mucus and glue in the U.S. Meats.
Yep.
Not to mention the jump shot of the bastard sauce. Yeah. Hey, shit.
They got meat
True.
glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that meat, man, shit. That's why you gotta be real weary on the meats too, cause like I said before, they got this little powdery shit, the meat glue. They put it in, they take all the little cuts that they don't use and mix it in the bowl with this powdery shit, and they lay off like some saran wrap and they roll it up in that saran wrap. And they let it sit in the refrigerator, and it blends all of this stuff together to make one cut of meat.
I go to Issachar.
And then they cut it down, and then they wrap it. After they cut it down, they wrap it with bacon and say it's filet mignons wrapped in bacon.
Nasty work, man.
And they sell it to you for $5 at Kroger's.
Yeah.
That's the meat glue right there.
See, I'd rather go to Issachar, like the brother said, or any halal market, because they got clean meat.
There's one around the corner for me. They got all the little fish and everything in the frozen area. They catch their own shit, get it sent over here, and they put it in their stores. And I'd rather shop at halal markets as well.
Yeah, just make sure you pray over your food. As Pastor Dahar goes into, they pray over, you know, their food over their gods, man. You know, just to get that covering of it, man.
That's facts, bro.
We'll always pray over your food regardless, man.
Because we in the place where food is defiled. We defiled free. So you might step around and might not pay attention to what you eat. In your mind, it's not pork, but it may be some pork in there somewhere, man.
That's why we got to repent daily, man. It's temptation to sin everywhere in this kingdom. You can't say that you don't sin. The scriptures tell you if you sin, you deceive yourself and you're a liar. I think that's in 1 John somewhere.
Man, whoever say that, they obviously don't read.
I think it was a Sakari member. I could have been wrong. Some other camp member. He said he don't sin, but hey, the meat is defiled, man. When you go to work, there's women over there
working on the Sabbath.
Working on the Sabbath. Yeah, you working on the Sabbath. You gotta pray. Shoot, a woman, she's on her time of the month. She touches something, you unclean, man.
Zariak said that he don't sin, that he don't go off.
See?
So you Hamashiach in the flesh then. That's the only one who never sinned.
So you must be in the new covenant that we don't know about.
You know what I'm saying? You must don't buy and sell on the Sabbath. These people are insane, man. I don't understand motorcycles with stereos. Why?
Hey, because this man loves noise, man. He loves chaos.
Noise, man.
You can, well, chaos is related to noise.
Yep.
Because you got a chaotic, your mind is not in order. Your mind is all over the place. You don't want to be dwelling on one thought. You want to be in multiple places at one time. So that chaos convinces you that you are an entity like that. Now you are a delusional idiot. And
chaos is what Esau is stirring up in this country.
He loves it.
He's stirring it up, and then he's gonna try to give y'all ass, I'm gonna say, the sea hip. He gonna stir up some shit. He gonna try to restore order with that sea hip. He gonna try to brand you motherfuckers as his own cattle, which a lot of y'all gonna take it.
Yep. They NPCs, cattle,
like you was talking about in your lesson this morning with the black bear.
Yep.
You know, they gave this woman they put it on her head or whatnot, and she had this little subscription, and they just kept rising the price up on it.
I'll see that episode too. I watched the first two episodes.
Set you up, man.
They set up now, man. Esau has got these Babylonians right where he wants them because they are subservient. They are dependent. This is a nation of consumers.
Yep.
We don't make shit here. We buy from other countries.
Yep.
These people can't even grow their own food because Esau has made them dependents. So he got y'all in his crosshairs. He got y'all nice and dependent like he wants y'all. He don't want no self-reliant citizens, because if you self-reliant, you don't need him. He gonna put you in a situation where you gonna need him. And when he does it, he gonna make you bow down to your knees and beg.
Yep.
That's how cynical this man is. But y'all about to find out the hard way, because y'all still trust his ass.
Yeah. I think also part of these tariffs, what was the plan, but it's backfiring. Just one of the plan, just me speaking as a man.
And cause inflation.
Cause inflation, but also, you know, is to have homegrown built factories here, you know, have your own, you know, have the other nations bring their products over here.
That's the cover story. They know
that's a cover story, but you even look into that, you got to allocate some land. Some states may give you a tax break, but you still got to allocate some land. You still got to pay the employees. And over here, you know, is another reason why they go to China and other places, because you can pay the employees less. Yeah. Over here, you got to pay them $30, $50 an hour. You got to pay them dental. You got to pay them, health insurance, 1K, You know, so it's just not going to work. It's not going.
No.
You can't even build a factory in 1 year.
No.
You know, you have Tesla. They been working on this gigafactory in Texas, and that's been taking like 2 to 3 years just to get up.
Yeah, it's not practical. It's not practical because it's not an overnight fix.
Yeah.
An average automaker factory take between 5 and 6 years to build for them to be up and running. See, Esau chose the cheap way to be greedy and make all the money, so he outsourced all his American-made products to cheap child labor overseas. What he didn't realize when he did that, he's basically giving up all his power. He's giving all his power to the other nations. Because now, guess what? We are dependent on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he didn't see coming. He didn't see that. So these nations, that's why China is in a position they're in. They can cut us off. They can say, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And they'll be all right, because you know why? China has the largest population in the world, number one. Number two, China is still thriving off the GDP of the BRICS. So they don't have to sell shit here and will not lose any sleep or any money. Yeah, they're going to lose some money, but they're going to still be in a good case.
Yeah, they still going to be
They're not
fine.
worried.
Yeah. But you're going to see over here in the U.S., prices is going to go up, man. Right? Those tariffs are going to be put onto you, and you have to pay for it, man. And you're going to see a whole bunch of chaos out here, man.
Yeah, this was planned. We told y'all. Edom is about to learn the hardest lesson. It's gonna be with them for the next 1,000 years while they're in captivity. Why we didn't take his treasonous ass out of office when we had the chance. He destroyed everything we stole. That's gonna be the last lesson you learn.
You wanted fast food, man. You wanted a quick fix. All right, bring all your companies over here. It's not going to be quick, man.
No, it's not a quick fix.
Y'all have something not.
Yeah, I got something. This is Iraq 10, in verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city should be inhabited. And this man, he gonna cause it for this place to be destroyed and chaos to happen, and ultimately that kingdom is gonna fall. So it ain't gonna be inhabited no more.
No, that's why we said, YASHARAHLA, we of that number. It's gonna be so much fun to watch you Edomites beat the asses of these Edomites that got y'all in this position. Like all these people in the White House, it's gonna be a pleasure to see them get jumped daily.
Man.
And before we leave Babylon, it's gonna pop off, because they're gonna be stringing up politicians and lying ass pastors left and right around this bitch.
2nd Ezra 15 and 16.
They will not regard their kings nor princes.
Remember that movie Civil War and the last part?
Yeah. Because it's really gonna set in that these politicians and these pastors have been lying. These people are gonna get enraged and they gonna want blood. Because, like we said, Trump's job is to string your ass along with lies, bullshit, and deception all the way to the chip.
Sure, that Moabite in that video, he said the R word, man, right? That's what you Americans need to do, right? And we understand eventually that's going to happen once again. 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, these things are going to come to pass, man. You know, but these Americans, which is by design, they're slow.
they have to be coerced into violence. So Esau is going to create the conditions for you to react in an emotional way. Because if he gets you emotional, you're not thinking logically. You're not thinking clearly. You all gas on emotion.
That spirit of insurrection is in the earth. I seen this thing on somebody's truck the other day. I wrote it down. It says, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. That's going to happen, man. 2nd Ezra 15. It was on somebody's truck. And I've been seeing a lot of license plates that say 1776. We was in slavery during that time.
Definitely gonna be an insurrection, man. They got I think it's called the Insurrection Act that they got on the table. So they gonna ride The insurrection goes where the people goes against the government, but the government gonna wage war against the people first, like they doing right now.
The government been declared war on the citizens. These people just too stupid to realize it.
Yeah, Sirach 14 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. You know, to get to us, he poisoning his own people.
Yeah.
I got Ecclesiasticus 10:3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And that's what you see with Trump right now. He's destroying this land and these people. These people's minds are gone. These motherfuckers cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man.
I told the only reason they're accepting all this abuse from Trump is because he's an Edomite. You think they'll let Obama get away with all this shit?
He said
Constantly destroying shit.
He spoke on that, saying if he would have done what Trump is doing, it would have been all over him.
They would have lynched his ass live on the front house lawn and televised it globally.
Yeah, because it's your own. You're a little slow belly on it.
You willing to ignore
or
turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're more willing to do that when you see one of your own fellow Edomites destroying you. So where's all that rah-rah y'all got with us, all that energy? You're not gonna do it because you know why? In a sense, Edomites never had a history of sticking together anyway. Y'all have always been a nation of cutthroats. We see it at our job every day.
Yeah.
Literally, every day.
You act all friendly in each other's faces. You talk boss shit behind each other's back. Y'all have never been a nation of unity. Just a nation of cutthroats, backstabbers.
What the hell is this nigga doing?
Yeah, the
He
Edomite.
rode that all the way over there just to do that.
Man, you'll be surprised. That's how you know he's a base man, dude. Folly entertains, simple shit entertains base men. That's why folly is set in great dignity to this day in this country. Because base men run it.
Yeah.
They like to be entertained by folly and dumb shit.
There's a basketball court up the way.
Yeah,
You could be doing that at.
Man.
And that ball is probably flat.
Let Edom be Edom as long as they don't come over here with that dumb.
Yeah, as long as you don't come over here. I'm gonna get the scripture real quick. This is meant to get this earlier. Isaiah 62 and verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye make mention of the Lord YASHAMIAHLA, keep not silence, and give him no rest to establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. That's our job, as we was talking earlier. Man, it's easy. Over 1,000 videos a week that we be pushing out, man. Right? And this is our job, man. And we seeing, you know, because this is a form of spiritual power. We're speaking things into existence, man.
Yep.
And then the Lord eventually, Yahweh we of those men, we gonna get that spiritual power in its fullness, man. Scriptures speak of Yahweh saying, you shall be able to do greater things than I. Right? And you go into the account, Yahweh did so many things that if they wrote it all in the Bible, man, it will take away from the message, just roughly paraphrasing, man. You know, so, hey, man, we on the winning team. You ain't losing nothing. You have everything to gain.
Yep. Because this was happening. Think of, y'all remember last year when Israel got attacked?
Yeah.
And that Iron Dome defense system was, there was too many missiles to defend.
Oh, yeah, yep.
It's the same thing with these videos. The videos are the missiles.
Yeah.
The Iron Dome is YouTube and those people at YouTube flagging our videos. We putting out too many missiles. They cannot shoot them all down. Your spiritual Iron Dome is not working against our spiritual missiles. It's just too many to shoot down.
They're going to have to cut the power off.
They're gonna have to do away with the internet, make us stop.
But the message has been out. It's already went out. So that's who it's for.
Exactly. Some of the missiles were not meant to penetrate the Iron Dome. Some of them were meant to be stopped by YouTube, and flagged by YouTube. But overall, our mission is being accomplished. Waking up the elect.
That's why everybody is pissed off at the Israelites. All around the world, that's all you see is the videos being made every single day of our people and these heathen nations trying to speak up against the Israelites.
Yeah.
But they're exposing themselves.
Yeah.
Enemies.
It was all hunky-dory when we were asleep.
Yeah. America's great than the motherfucker, wasn't it? Yep. Until we woke up and told you your judgment.
Yep.
And now you can't sleep. Now you lost your business. Now your president has turned on you. All these allied nations have turned on you ever since we woke up, which is prophecy.
Okay. Yeah, just preaching the word.
No, that's not our.
Nah.
We're not carnal.
Nah, we don't move carnally.
We're gonna cut your spirit up though.
Because yeah, your spirit gonna get cut up.
You know what I'm saying? That shows you that they are worried, bro.
They worried.
Because why would you say that?
Just don't hurt nobody.
Do you?
Wait, you trying to provoke us to beat your ass or something? Is that the case?
We hurt you with these words.
Yeah, we're gonna cut your spirit up and have you balled up in the shower, crying.
I mean, he really just exposed himself as being the Edomite.
Trying to start some
You know,
shit.
try to start some shit. You know, but you gonna be in captivity. Yeah, you gonna be hurt then.
You
Right?
notice none of the Jakes walk by with curiosity. It's only Edomites. Because Jake is oblivious, still in love with Babylon, American dream. These Edomites, they waking up to the fact that the American dream is dead. They waking up to the fact that they are losing their kingdom. Yeah. That's why they worried. That's why they so concerned when they see us standing on our feet with great boldness.
They know that. They already know that, because they've been saying it for a few years now, that they are about to get what they dished out, bro. They know it in the spirit that they finna get what they dished out, and much worse.
All that is guilt.
Yeah.
It's that guilt coming back on them, and for them to feel like that, it's an admission of guilt. If you ain't did shit, you shouldn't have shit to feel guilty about. Obviously, you did something.
Yeah, because this country was founded by blood.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not even a long time ago, man.
Really was.
Where
Not even
Esau
not
and
even
Jake was
200
at
years.
it. Not even, yeah, like brother said, not even 200 years. He was out there hitting us with the water hose, macing our faces, beating us up. You still doing that to this day. But man, it was really ramped up back then.
Yeah.
So what you mean don't hurt nobody?
We don't have a history. Who has a history of hurting who? You still got lynches and police discrimination, all this
Still
shit.
to this day.
To this day.
That proves he's the accuser of the brethren.
Yeah.
They always try to label us in a negative light.
Don't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
What type of weapons do you see up here, man?
What made you say that? Unless you trying to bait us up to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Or you trying to put that false accusation on us. We don't have a history of violence, of unprovoked violence. That's you Edomites. Because don't nobody got to do shit to y'all, but y'all will roll up 7, 8 deep on horses with hoods on, burning crosses in people's yards.
Yeah.
Who has a history of causing unprovoked violence? It ain't us.
I mean,
We
look at
respond to violence. We don't initiate it.
Rosewood. Look at all these other high-profile places that Jake had built up.
Tulsa,
Tulsa, yep.
Red Summer.
You know,
Philadelphia. The government bombed a city in Philadelphia, a part of Philadelphia, that
St.
was
Louis?
predominantly Jake.
St. Louis used to be Gadite land. This whole place was Gadite land, Northern Kingdom land. You know, all Jake.
That's what I should have told his ass. We don't have a history of violence. That's you, bruh.
What do you mean?
Yeah, play stupid.
Yeah, in his spirit, he was scared, man.
In his spirit, he was innocent because that's how they are raised in this culture. They can't do no wrong, bruh.
I didn't do it. My forefathers did.
Well, guess what? You are your forefather.
You are
so
your
that's
forefather.
still your ass.
Like the brother said, roughly 20 years.
20
I mean-
years, a new generation comes forth.
Especially back then, now people was having children a little later because of the times, Esau making the economy worse and worse. But shoot, back then you would have children early. So you came back on the earth faster,
And you can tell he had the spirit of a serpent on him.
Yeah.
All sneaky and shit, trying to provoke us on the slide.
It seemed like he stopped there for a little minute, then came up here.
The other dude, he said 12 tribes of Israel.
They worried, man. You can tell they worried.
But like the brother said, Jake didn't inquire. We only had one Jake, and that was a couple weeks ago. But other than that, Jake, like the brother said, Jake's oblivious. Jake's still thinking that this kingdom's gonna run. Esau knows in his spirit something's up, man.
That's why a lot of them crying about what their forefathers happened to.
Yep.
They're crying about a lot of that lately, trying to apologize and stuff. Like I said earlier, that apology don't mean nothing, man. Y'all gotta go in them chains, man. But it was definitely prophetic that y'all was gonna cry about your forefathers because y'all are starting to be pointed at now, man.
Yeah,
This
they
is,
would complain of an ungodly father.
Ecclesiasticus 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be a reproach for his sake, man. That's what you said today.
You know why Jake walked by all oblivious and Esau is more concerned? Because Jake doesn't have that guilt of innocent bloodshed on his spirit like Esau does. Esau, all of this is a sign of admission of guilt because he's expecting the payback from somebody, somewhere, sometime. He done fucked over so many people, he don't know where the payback coming from.
Yeah.
He don't know what direction to defend from. He don't know who it's coming from because he done fucked over everybody. That's why he's living in a constant state of guilty suspicion.
And he always thinks somebody up to something like this.
Exactly.
Edomite, just like this Edomite just rolled up here, talking about don't hurt nobody. Why you feel that way?
Exactly. That's guilty suspicion. He knows the payback is coming from somebody at some given time, somewhere. He just don't know where because he done fucked over so many people.
Yeah, that James Brown show, he was fucking coming for that big payback.
Yeah, and then to deflect from it, to defend from that, he's in a constant state of being victimized. He always victimizes himself. Somebody trying to do something to him. No, the shoe is on the other foot. Who's in the White House plotting to enslave every man, woman, and child? That's why they killed Kennedy, because he was about to reveal that to the whole world.
Yeah. You notice how they always do that. Somebody that's about to reveal some truth, they somehow, some way get knocked off.
Just like that family that went down in that helicopter crash recently.
Yep.
That was a hit. That was an obvious assassination. Same place.
How you gonna reign supreme and you the victim? You can't be both places at the same time.
Who wants to rule over ashes?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it even comes into you putting yourself up as the people of the Lord, and then but you paint yourself as the Hamites, paint yourself as the Moabites. You know, you go read these Bible stories, you know, with the pictures in it. You everybody. You every nation.
Putting out these confusing ass movies.
Noah,
everybody eat them.
Yeah.
I got a Bible, it's like this big. It was given to you, it was like $100. Big old fat Bible. But they got like a big old timeline in it. And then they got a bunch of different pictures and stuff in it. All that shit eat them.
See?
That's why I didn't really look at the Bible itself. That timeline, I'm not going to go to the stores and grab it. I want y'all to see that timeline. It's a nice timeline on there, real long.
See, that's why that's another way how Esau does his wickedness. All these books that were so-called quote unquote revised, that's another word for whitewash.
Yep.
That's all that means. Just like the Renaissance. The history was just
Iconoclast.
Revised.
Yep.
It was revised. Oh, okay. You whitewashed the shit out of it. Okay.
Because I remember in school they said a Renaissance man is a person who things. So basically, Jake with the Dark Ages, they try to say that there was no creation, no inventions, no enlightenment, no type of nothing, invented in the world, nothing. Like lying ass, man. You can't. If you ain't an Edomite, like you always say, hey, stop lying, stop killing, stop raping.
Yeah.
Raping. Stop doing this.
Can't. It's in your spirit. That's all you know. Bloodshed, theft, and lying is just like breathing to us. It's natural.
He's one that still kills and destroys, man.
Judge 10 to 10.
Always in his path. Always.
See, 59.
I just thought about this. If you got these Edomites out here, man, y'all done change the color of the Lord. If you know what the Lord look like, you think the Lord ain't mad at damn near every person that he see down here that look like you. You know, of course, we know that we got Israelites that look like Edomites, but you know, how the Lord gonna feel about that? How is he gonna save Edomites. You know, he ain't. Because he know that you didn't fuck up everything.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's olive color.
Man, even
God
the olive
damn
is a
it.
color. It's
Change
not
the-
even so-called white.
The fuck, man? The olive. I don't see nobody green walking around here. You got dark brown olives.
Olives
That's
have
what-
melanin.
These people are they just reaching desperate lives.
He's Middle Eastern. There's no Middle East, man.
Do a direction.
Yeah.
Internationality.
Yeah.
And
From
just-
the bloodline of a direction.
Yeah.
Your forefathers are directions.
Dumbasses, man.
Stop.
Let me see if there's anything else.
Like, don't even make sense, man.
That's how you know a lot of these pastors gonna get it. They gonna get it. Think about it like this. In order to lie, you have to know the truth. Because you have to know what not to say.
Yeah.
Pastors finna get it.
Yep.
All of them.
That's a story that I often tell, man. As you read in Romans 9:3, right? My pastor omitted who are Israelites, man. Pretty much skip that verse.
They don't go through the first 5 chapters of Romans 9. No, they will not. The first 10 verses of Romans 9, they will not bring that out in the church. And if you try to bring it out, they're gonna ask you to leave. Because they got a heathen-friendly doctrine in the churches. But Romans 9 debunks that.
Yeah. And that's how they make their money too.
Yeah.
You know, you have all people come in, you have all the opportunity to make all this money. I got Lights Out Devil on the comment board. Sirach 41 verse 8. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the most high power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. That's what we're going to see with a lot of these 2/3. Hey, Esau Edom, man. We see that he has increased, right, with these tariffs. That increases the ultra rich, right? And he wants to rule over ashes. He wants that fast food. He wants that fast quick. It's not going to happen. It's going to cause destruction, which that's what you're playing for. You also got verse 9. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. You see that? Curse shall be your portion, man. Let's see, verse 10. All that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. So the ungodly go from a curse to destruction. The mourning of men is about their bodies, but the ill name of sinners shall be blotted out. And that's pretty much the ultimate thing that's going to happen unto the Edomites, man. They're going to be blotted out. There shall be no more remaining of the house of Esau, right? Our name shall stand. Our name is not going to be a reproach anymore. The nations are going to come down and look unto us, right? They're not going to look down unto us anymore.
It says, how are the things of Esau searched out, or how his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and they prevailed against thee. Right, they fight back with these terrorists. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the men of Esau? Is that not what's happening right now? Every move that Esau make is failing.
Yeah.
It's biting them back in the ass. You know, these nations, hey, they rising up against America, man. And it's gonna reign true when they shoot the missiles over here, man.
Y'all seen Jake just walk by?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It made me go to this verse right here.
You seen he have a bald head, bald face, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people do not consider.
Yep.
Just walk by.
He looked at the chart.
But he,
You know, you look at
he
the
had
brother.
he had a mocking type spirit,
Yeah,
type
yeah, I saw that.
expression on his face when he walking by. Like, nah, here go the E, here go the E.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
talk
yeah.
shit on them videos,
Yeah, they
but
do.
they don't approach you in reality.
No, they're gonna talk big
because
shit.
they don't know the scriptures, man.
They gonna
get
talk
cut
big
up.
shit. They gonna get emotional, and they gonna start lying on you and calling you names. That's their only defense.
Preaching hate.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, it's shaped like an oval, so it's gonna be a hard time for him in Jacob's trouble.
Look like he got sausage biscuit on his breath.
I got sausage on my mind.
Polish sausage.
Yeah.
With the Polish people.
Yeah, C word, man.
Yeah, he was shining on the noggin.
You know what I'm saying? Our people don't consider, man.
You know, once again, Esau acquired, or appeared to be Esau acquired, or said something at least. Jake just walked by, man. But that's all right. That's how the Lord wants it, man.
I mean, he really had a look on his face like he hates the Israelites.
Yeah.
You hate your damn self.
Here go he always trying to push that Bible on people. Well, ain't that's what the pastor doing, if not worse?
Yep.
Because not only is he pushing lies on you and not the truth, but he shake you down every Sunday.
Give me that money.
You know what I'm saying? Shaking your little piggy bank. Now you coming out of there from shucking, jiving, and lying, confused, broken, musty.
Yep.
with a bill behind, several bills behind, because you done gave it to the pastor, because he told you, if you sow, you gonna get blessings behind it.
Prosperity doctrine.
Yep.
But the scriptures say, give not unto the wicked. So that's why you still in your condition. But yeah, listen, brother, got something. You got something out?
I have one. Proverbs.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna close out. But yeah, if you want to get that.
It's Proverbs 28:1, because these Christian Israelites, they not gonna really say that for real. They really scared. Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. They know they can't really do that. You got the spirit of Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA. This truth is coming out of them.
There's two spirits out here that the Most High put out. You got the spirit of Yahweh you got the spirit of fear. That's on the Christians, like the brother said.
Yep.
And a lot of people are about to be revealed. You know, when they the little laws that they got in the UK right now, 2 years jail sentence for street preaching.
I think UK and Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
When they bring that over here, because it's going to trickle down to America. Y'all just don't understand that things that happen in other places, Babylon gets it eventually.
Yep.
When it happens, that's when a lot of people going to be exploited, man, for who they really are.
And you know what? I want to make this point before we close. I noticed an uptick of Israelites making videos as why they're no longer following why I'm no longer Israelite. To me, that looks like y'all trying to separate y'allself because y'all don't want Esau to come down on y'all.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen anyway.
Right.
The get along to go along gang, go along to get along gang. That's what they own.
That's how much he hates you. You think when he check your page and you see that video, and they see that video while I'm no longer a Hebrew Israelite, that you're no longer in danger?
You no longer exempt.
You know what I'm saying? No, this man hates you to the point he gonna murder the innocent.
That's what he's always done.
Exactly. You be like madmen, sparing none.
Yep. Hey, read Deuteronomy 25 on down. It says, remember Esau, what he had done. Remember Amalek and what he had done, man. Right? How he hit the weak, the young, the poor. Right? He's always done that. And you think you're exempt from that?
Just because you made a video. If anything, you done solidified it in the heavens.
Yeah.
It's recorded in the heavens that you denounced the truth. So yeah, he gonna send Esau at your ass still as judgment. Y'all too busy trying to kiss up the Esau ass. This man's gonna be your enemy regardless. We are enemies from birth. Since the beginning of time, that's not gonna change till the Lord comes back and changes. Kissing ass on a video does not make you exempt from judgment. Because you denounced the truth, you in more trouble now.
Hey, remember what they did every time of back in these, man? They was burning Bibles, man. You think they gonna do that this time? It don't matter if you a Christian, it don't matter what you are. They gonna hate everybody.
They already have. When Putin opened that vault, yeah, they was burning Bibles then.
Yes, they found out that cheese and rice wasn't who they thought he was.
More importantly, they found out that they finna get the same thing they dished out to us. That what pisses them off. Because they thought they got away with some shit.
Yeah. Shoot, and the 7 Noahide laws, man.
Yeah, that too.
Right?
That too.
You worshiping cheese and rice at your ass anyways. So you done.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
them trying to pool all religions together.
Yeah.
But their true target is us.
Yeah.
Always has been. When last time you ever seen somebody create legislature trying to prohibit Christianity? When that's how this country was founded on that lie.
Exactly. That's how you know they're going after the Israelites. That's
Exactly.
how on the street corners preaching his word, man. That's how you know.
Christians ain't no threat. They nice and tame and docile and brainwashed just like you like them. They're not a threat. We
Backstabbers.
know who you really after.
They're not even consistent in their wicked false preaching. They don't go out in season out of season.
Oh, they trying to get money. They're trying to get your money and your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all the pastor wants.
He's a thug, just in the pulpit, right?
The church always been fucked up. But they got on a whole nother level when Tyler Perry got his ass on the same.
Oh,
man.
man.
He made them Christians worse
They made them
because
so
he
much
normalized seeing a man in a dress,
Yeah.
which is an abomination. Read the book of Leviticus.
Hey, that's why he got mad at that Boondocks episode. I think they ended up taking it off. It was about Tyler Perry, him being a mole, all effeminate and shit.
Well, what you expect? And Cat Williams hit it on the head. He was like, Ricky Smiley can't make nobody laugh unless he got on the dress.
Yeah, he's trash. Even in his comic book days, he was trash.
Yeah, I never. And we from the same city. We both from Birmingham. He was all right Friday after next. But other than that,
That's about it.
He
Yeah.
cried about that because he was supposed to be
think
Money
like
Mike.
he supposed to be Money Mike. But see, Cat Williams brought out on the club Shay that it's conditional in his contract. He said if they want me to work with
He got to wear a dress.
Ricky Smiley, he has to wear a dress. It's in Cat Williams' contract. Those two were in Friday after next. And that contract first took effect in that movie First Sunday. Y'all seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
When Ice Cube and that other dude robbed the church.
Oh, yeah.
Held him at ransom. Like Matt Sapp. Marvin Sapp. Close the doors. Yeah, that was in First Sunday.
What did he get chased by Damon on Friday? Cat Williams.
Yep.
Damon?
But in First Sunday, Ricky Smiley was wearing a dress.